if you measure happiness, which again is a very difficult thing to do, but you just take people's measures of happiness, both men and women have declined, but women have declined at a faster rate since the 70s.
Because we live on the internet,
feminism.
Probably. Everything is so on the internet. I mean, you
the
watch the
internet,
TV,
though.
you think you're going to die.
I don't think it's like, do we know it's directly caused because of feminism?
I mean, I think studies are all fake anyway, but if you look at all of these happiness surveys such as they are, the big change that happened in the relations between men and women is the advent of feminism, and it made women completely miserable.
Probably because they like became more eye-opened and realized, whoa, my life is shit. We need to do something.
That's
about
exactly
it.
what happened. What they would do in the New York radical women's groups, these happy women who had good husbands and families would show up happy. I'm not even joking. And they would go through these struggle sessions and they would raise their consciousness and they would leave miserable. And this happened again and again at these meetings. And that's what happened to the whole society over the last 60 years.
Wait, isn't this the same thing as
ignorance is bliss?
Yeah, I feel like they were ignorant before. They opened their eyes from the Matrix or whatever the pill.
That's what the feminists say. But no, I think they actually were much better adjusted to reality before, and then they were told a bunch of lies by the feminists about their nature.
When they weren't controlling their own lives and everything was dictated on their husband.
Before when they believed that men and women are complementary and actually made for one another, and that actually we have responsibilities and obligations and not just entitlements to do whatever the hell we want. And then after they went to the struggle sessions with all the feminists, they were told a lie, which is that men and women are not complementary, but they're indiscernible, basically identical. Woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And they were told a lie that they would be much more fulfilled not working for the good of their husband and children, but instead going out and working for Mr. McGillicuddy, some guy who doesn't care about them at all, so they can work at a job at the widget factory.
That they don't need women, that women are like a fish, they can have many women, men are told the same exact thing.
Yeah, no, that unfortunately is a product of feminism that's affected men too, and it's just all a bunch of BS.
But I feel like that was before feminism. I feel before it was just hidden. Men could cheat on their wives so much more easily.
Because we're allowed sex without marriage. That's why people don't want to marry anymore.
Bingo.
Okay,
Bingo,
I understand
baby.
hookup culture is a problem, but when there wasn't hookup culture, men were allowed and they had this freedom of being to cheat on their wives and to get away with it.
There were mores and even laws against adultery and fornication.
Yeah, but no one would care. They would just turn a blind eye. No one would.
Depends what you mean by no one. I mean, men have been cats for all of human history.
Hold on just a sec, guys.
Super chatted $199.99. Girl in the middle, men abandoning his duty as father is one issue. But you're forgetting that it is the woman's fault for making a baby with him. Since you argue that women are the final decision makers of intercourse, women bear the responsibility of it. It's her fault.
So allow abortion.
No. It's her fault for him deciding to leave his kid.
No. It's the moment you decide to agree to sex and have sex with somebody, you have to accept the fact that you can have a baby with that man, just as you are hooking up with somebody.
Yes, but
you
it's
can have
still
the baby
his
with him
fault
anytime.
for leaving. It's not.
He has to also accept the responsibility that he's having a kid as well.
So,
isn't it a two-person thing? You said you're having the baby too.
It's also, I mean, if you're really trad, like you think that men have a leadership responsibility, and so really you would blame the men even more. The same way that Eve eats the apple, right? The serpent goes up to Eve, says, "Eat the apple." Eve eats the apple, but it's still Adam's fault. It's not very feminist, but that's the way it goes in the book.
Well, I'm not religious.
We're cutting back to this religion thing that none of us are going to agree on.
So I think it's fault of both men and women.
Yes,
I think it's just
both.
It's the way that our society is right now. I'm kind of the same age as you, but like I have a sister that's 10 years younger, and I'm like horrified. I feel so bad for her because she's growing up in this world where. Well, first of all, you grow up on the internet, and there's a lot of toxic things you see. Then, like the hookup culture doesn't help. Like,
I remember
so how do we solve this problem?
Well, you have to eliminate feminism, actually, because I remember thinking when I was in college, I thought the way the hookup culture worked, I thought these women had convinced themselves that they were empowered by sleeping with men.
Well, the definition of feminism changed.
Yeah. I think
there's different feminism. The feminism initially there's different kind of equality. There's equality of pay that should be allowed. There's nothing wrong against like paying the same amount of money to people performing the same kind of job on the same position.
Are we talking about the wage gap now? Wait, we're just all over the place.
That is part of a feminist. No, it is the league. There's different spectrums of feminism. The feminism we are talking about is the one who said that somebody has enslaved women and then somebody came in the 70s or 80s and sexually liberated them. So now we can sleep around and do whatever we want because it's going to make us happier.
Yeah, that's not
that is a wrong
that I would call feminism. Like I'm for, like I want I'm for gender roles. Like, I don't want men to like I have my own gender role. Like, I'm not gonna go fight in war, but I want to do my womanly duties, whatever it will be. But I also agree that, you know, we should support men and men should support women.
And you agree with gender roles too.
I agree with what she said at the end, but what about men supporting women
from post-Soviet countries? She's from Armenia, from Ukraine.
I just don't think
it way more than the Americans do.
It's not about gender. I don't think it's about gender roles. I feel like, yeah, in a sense, some are gendered, but I feel like it's more about delegating tasks to whoever best completes them in the relationship you are, unique to the relationship.
And do you think some men and women tend to or be more inclined towards certain things than
maybe like maybe I'll probably be better at some things that we'll do with our child and such, but I know my boyfriend's a way better cook than me, and he honestly does a way better job at being clean while cooking than I probably ever will. Maybe a few years we'll get the same skill, but he's also way better at killing spiders than I am. He's also better at lifting weights or telling somebody off than I am. So some of those things are gendered, but I also think it just comes down to some things he does better than me, and that happens to be stereotypical.
What about when you have relationships that are women and women or men and men? Like, what if you're not gonna?
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't recommend it.
We can talk about all these other